What, we some kind of suicide squad?
I am Iron Man.
You are a toy!
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Server Anakin! I have the high ground!
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
Welcome back to the Big Movie Boy podcast, the only podcast that won't shoot you in the back as you're picking up a football. I'm your host, Benjamin Stitch, and with me, as always, is Jeremy, Caretaker Bauman.
Hang on, guys. I just got to turn down this radio real quick.
And Bob, Mean Machine Label.
What's up, everybody? Happy Black Wednesday Eve.
To continue our recent theme of having guests on the pod, we have my brother, Steven Stitch, on the pod. Steven is one of our most loyal listeners, and as an early Christmas present, I've allowed him to come on the podcast. Steven, please introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. And as a former co-host of a former podcast myself, Heartfelt Sports, rest in peace. I know how the struggle goes for you guys, so thank you for having me on.
For
we
our
have
seven listeners.
a professional with us today.
Yes, we do. We had we did not have a professional last week, but we are making up for it this week. So today on the pod, we have Turkey Day on our minds, and that is why we chose the well-known Thanksgiving movie to review, The Longest Yard. We will also be talking about what movies or shows we are most grateful for, but first, we're going to be doing a little Thanksgiving trivia. I will be asking you guys 10 questions, and we will see out of the three of you who knows the most about Thanksgiving.
I'll finish the sentence for you, Ben. You're thinking it's going to be me because you're right. I guarantee victory. I'm winning this one.
Bob's going to be the big turkey boy at the end of this.
Yeah, this is for who the biggest turkey boy is. All right, we got 10 questions. Whoever's closest to each answer will get the question. So, Jeremy, you might have to do some math too, rather than just also keeping score.
That's what I'm here
First
for.
question.
I'm the big math boy.
So no, I don't know there's going to be any math involved in this.
Yeah, can I rescind my...
You guys don't have to do math. You don't have to do math.
Oh, I win. I got this. Let's do it.
All right, first question. How many turkeys are prepared for Thanksgiving in America each year?
Buzz.
You don't have to buzz in. You all answer.
Okay. All right. Well, who's going first?
Bob, will let you go first.
How many Thanksgivings are prepared each year?
How many turkeys?
Oh, fuck. How many turkeys? Okay, let me do the quick math in my head. How many Americans are... Is this only in America?
I said, yeah. How many turkeys are prepared for Thanksgiving in America each year?
They celebrate Thanksgiving in Russia, too.
Yeah. Let me think. This is one that I actually know. I'm going to say probably 2.75 million.
All right, Jeremy, you're up.
Man, that sounded way too high to be true. But it might be. I'm going to say 1 million, even.
Steven, you're up.
So I'm going to do like prices right then. I'm going to go 2.6 million.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
With that, Steven will win. Steven won.
What?
You guys are way off. I also would be very confused by this. I have the sources if you guys want to check after.
I would have guessed
feel like you're not going to believe me. Yeah, it was 46 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't let Bob go first because he's going to be way off every time.
There's like 300 million people in America.
Yeah. All right. So Steven took the lead there. All right. Number two. We'll let Jeremy answer this one first. When was the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Ooh. When did Macy's
The first
come
televised one, not like the first parade in the history of America.
Interesting. Well, when did television come around?
Wait, this might not be true about television. I don't know. I just know, when was the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? I will stop talking.
Okay, well, in that case, Macy's must have been around at this point. But Macy's could be a very old company. I'm going to say post-war, we needed Macy's to get this country going again. So I'm going to say like 1948.
Steven, you're up.
I'm going to go with the other war, World War I, and I'm going to say 1923. That's the final answer.
Bob, you're up.
I'm going to say 1901.
I'm a little nervous. Steven was so close. It's going to look like we're cheating here. It is 1924.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I've been watching a lot of Jeopardy lately. Rest in peace.
What year are they on? I thought they were on year like 125th annual one, or maybe it's only 100 or some shit. I fucking know.
Yeah. Hey, I'll send you the source after. Maybe these are all wrong too.
I picked the wrong war.
Yeah. All right.
You got my head spinning with that one.
I almost
Number
said the 1800s, so at least I didn't say that.
I think Bob should go first every question.
Your 1901 one was solid, though. I liked it. All right, Steven, you're going to be up first on this one. All right. Another Macy's parade question here. On average, how many people attend the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade each year? Not including 2020, of course.
I hope you guys got Macy's to sponsor this podcast since they're doing so many free ads. You guys are just
We do have them.
advertisement here. God, there's a lot of stupid people that like parades. I'm gonna guess a little more than the Canal Fest parade, probably about 1.6 million.
Bob,
Is this in person or on TV?
in person, not watching on TV.
Dude, I'm not listening
It's
when you
in-
read the questions.
Bob, do you know where the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is?
Yeah, my cousin went to it one time. Next time he goes, I'll ask him to count every person there. I don't know. It's probably a couple million. I'm gonna say 3 million people.
Jeremy.
They're shooting way higher than I was, and whatever the number is, it's way too high. But I'm gonna lowball it. I'm gonna say 300,000.
Bob takes this one, 3.5 million.
Yeah, dude, it goes like fucking 20 city blocks in New York City and it's packed.
Yeah. It should be fun this year.
Cuomo won't like that if people are gathering like
no.
that again.
Never.
All right, what's this? What, you got 2-1 here? 2-1-0, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm not doing
Who's
too
two?
hot.
Oh, Jeremy, you suck ass, dude.
I'm not good at I can't guess crowd sizes. I'm not good at guessing years apparently.
You just hate holidays.
Question 4. We are back to Bob guessing first. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, how much does the heaviest turkey on record weigh?
Oh fuck, this is a good one. Have you ever? I'd say.
I guess. I don't actually know.
I'm gonna say.
No, last week, Bob. What was the heaviest turkey they weighed in last week?
I'm gonna say 65 pounds.
Jeremy, your guess.
I think it's gotta be closer to 100. I'm gonna say 105 pounds.
Steven?
Ugh. That was 87 pounds.
Jesus Christ, are you cheating, Steven? It is 86 pounds.
You have to hold
I
on.
swear to God.
You're
I'm not
way
looking
too
at it.
close. That's way too many.
That's
That you're like
twice he's
one.
been one off. That's
Dude,
sketchy.
Think about a turkey that big.
Ben sent Steve the all the answers. He's like, just don't guess too close.
I was told him to send it to me so I could win, but I guess I didn't need it.
Don't guess too close, and then he guesses one off. All right, he's got a commanding lead now. All right, here we go. I don't know how much I believe this next one, but we're gonna go with it. How many calories on average are consumed per person at Thanksgiving dinner?
Ooh, am
Who's
I up on this one?
Yeah,
Jeremy's
Jeremy's
up.
up.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna say. Wait, you're supposed to eat like 2,000 calories in a day, but Americans are crazy, especially on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna say people knock out a day's worth of calories just during their Thanksgiving meal. I'm gonna say 2,000.
Steven?
2,400. Shout out Kobe Bryant.
Bob?
I am gonna go with 2,800.
Bob takes it, and guys, you can actually look this one up because I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't double
Is
check
it
my
three?
sources.
Is it over 3,000?
It's 4,500.
There's no fucking way.
That seems way too high to me. But you know what? When you are running out of questions, you just got to go with it.
If you're
I
going
put
for
down about-
seconds, I can see it maybe.
Yeah, and then like 2,000 calories of beer.
That's true. You shit face
Yeah.
with the family.
Yeah, that's that after Thanksgiving hard pounding of liquor and beer. That's what you got to do. That's where the calories sneak up.
Yeah. Sorry, Jared. Another one you were losing here.
I don't think I've even come remotely close to any of these answers so far.
Does your family celebrate Thanksgiving?
We do.
The Canadian one?
No, the American one. It's coming up
Oh.
soon, right?
That was Columbus Day. Is the Canadian one.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know
right.
that.
It's
Yeah, I'm
usually
pretty
on
sure.
there. It's like the first Monday of October or some shit. Second one. All right. Here. Question 6 goes to Steven. Who was the first president to pardon a turkey? So we'll just go with whoever is closest to this president one.
I haven't been studying up on my presidents lately, so I'm going to go Lincoln. Just He seemed like he was partying everybody back then, so we'll go with Lincoln.
Oh, Bob, you're up.
Oh, I'm up. Yeah, you got to tell me the order. I don't know.
We've only done this 6 times so far.
For some reason, I feel like I've heard this before, and I don't know why. I think it's William Howard Taft. That's what I thought I heard before, but I think I might be wrong. That's my guess, though. Taft.
Jeremy.
I don't even know if it's right. I was going to guess Taft. Am I allowed to double down?
I guess we can double down.
If that's the right
points,
answer, I
it's
think
right.
you'd be able to. Yeah.
It's not the right answer. So at this point, I can't let Jeremy.
Jeremy, change your answer.
You definitely should not allow us to double down.
Then take a guess. It's not Taft.
Let's just say
Bob could be the
Eisenhower.
closest. All right, this is where I need someone to look it up. It is what I found was JFK. I think Eisenhower is closest to JFK.
Yeah, Eisenhower.
Or-
Yeah, because Eisenhower's like 50.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
so
I definitely
Jeremy
agree.
does take that.
No, Jeremy's definitely closer.
Jeremy took that one.
What does that mean, though? He pardoned a turkey.
He was the first one to do it. Like, you know how they do that every year? Technically, Reagan was like the first one to make it official, but JFK did it just because he was a good dude, I guess.
No. I never really paid attention to that.
All right, Jeremy's on the board.
Turkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Guys,
right.
it's anyone's game.
It's what is it? 3, 2, 1.
That is correct.
All right, here we go. When was the first turkey trot held in America? Oh, Bob, you're back up.
Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot.
Sorry.
Well, oh my God, this is tough. I want to say, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the well. 1901.
Never
Jeremy.
let you down before. Well, we all know the marathon is named a marathon because it was the distance that some ancient guy in Greece ran to the city of Marathon. And similarly, the turkey trot is named after someone from Turkey who trotted 5K or whatever to dinner one evening.
This is true.
And I believe that happened in 1933.
Steven.
Was that first story about the marathon actually true?
No, that's true. Yes.
That part
That
was.
one's true.
Well, I learned that one today. I think it's somewhere in the middle, probably before World War I. I'll say 1911.
Ooh, Bob, you're gonna take another one. Tie it up
Let's
here.
go.
So it is 1896.
Jesus.
We're going to do if someone wants to buzz in, we're going to do a bonus point. If someone wants to try to get a bonus point of where it was held,
Buzz.
I think I heard Jeremy.
New York City.
You're deaf. That was me, but
Wrong. So it was Steven next.
Boston.
No, Bob.
Let me
you wanna
guess. Cleveland, Ohio.
No, all wrong. According to
Philadelphia.
it's like parade.com. You can't just keep throwing out guesses now.
Turkey, the
Buffalo,
country.
New York.
was the
Buffalo,
answer.
New York. Buffalo, New York.
It was
Wait,
Buffalo.
really?
Yeah.
You're shitting me.
I only wrote that down because it was interesting to me. But yeah, according to, I think it's parade.com. That's where I got it.
Why is
According
it
to
not
them,
on
it
our
was
billboard?
Buffalo. I know we should be boasting about that shit. Probably because it's not true, but
Yeah, it's.
that doesn't matter. We got 3-3-1. Jeremy, you're gonna need to.
I think you are right with that because I think Buffalo every year they like celebrate the fact that it's the longest running turkey.
Yeah, but I
trot in
thought
the country.
I feel like we would have known that though.
Bob,
Because
didn't
turkey
you
trot's so
run in it?
popular. No, but I've been to it before, and I feel like I would have known if it. Right? They should have that everywhere. Like the. Maybe they do. They probably.
I think they
do.
just say longest running. I don't think it's like a competition. So
That's true. When is the turkey? Is that on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, dude,
Everybody's
I'm
hungover.
absolutely toast from the night before. So that's exactly why I've never noticed that.
All right, we got 3-3-1 with 3 questions to go. Here we go.
Easy.
This is one you might be able to guess if you remember it from school at all. What year is considered to be the first year Thanksgiving was celebrated?
I thought that this question might come up, and I was nervous to answer. I'm going to say
You are? Yeah, you are up.
1692.
Steven.
See, Columbus came in 1492. That's why I had 92 in my head. I was going to say 1618. And that's my final answer, 1618.
Bob.
You guys are all saying shit like in the 1600s, so that makes me. That makes
What were
me
you
I was
say,
going to say
1970?
2003.
well, I was going off of The 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I don't know. He got here. Wait, no.
Remember the story of how he came over and immediately started eating with the Native Americans? That's what it was. It wasn't the other thing.
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He brought a Thanksgiving dinner too. Everyone remembers it.
I'm going to say 1609.
Steven takes this one. He's a little too close again, a little fishy. It was 1621.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
What did you guess?
1618.
Yeah, you guys are looking at this. There's no way.
So it's 4-3-1. Jeremy, sorry, you can still fight for second place. But yeah, Bob and Steven's between you for first place.
So I'm
All
up
right.
first this one, right?
Yep.
Are there no more bonus points available to us?
No more bonus points, sorry. If there's a
Damn.
tie, I'm going to go back to thatparade.com and we'll do a buzz in one. But this is all I got. All right, number 9. This is another one you could know. I did not know this, though. How long did the first Thanksgiving last?
Oh, Jesus.
No,
it's
not
me.
you, Bob, yet. Love the energy, though.
That's a tough question, though, because usually you want Thanksgiving to be over because you don't want to spend that much time with your family. Get in, get out. So I'll say...
I don't think the first Thanksgiving was just, like,
yeah,
family members.
Yeah, hanging out with your aunts and uncles. I'll say 2 days. I don't know why I'm saying 2 days.
Son of a bitch. I was going to say 2 days.
Bob, you're up. What is your guess, then?
Do we go down to the hour, then?
It's in terms of days. It's not like 2 days, 13 hours.
They didn't have the stopwatch running?
No.
I'm going to say 3 days, then.
Jeremy.
I'm just going to go 4 days. Why not?
Bob takes it with the second guess at 3 days.
3 days? Are you kidding me?
Man, they had a lot of football teams back then, you got to remember. They were all playing on Thanksgiving.
That sounds like hell on earth. 3 days. How many cows do you think
we
they
got a
ate
tie.
Yeah, what were they doing? Like eating and sleeping and then back at it again the next morning? Like, what the hell?
I think
Jake's coming.
ate a turkey, had to kill another one. Like, they did it like... Was the hunting of the turkey involved in this?
A little
I think
genocide
so,
on the
yeah.
second day to like
That's
mix it up and so a little killing for everybody.
We have a tie atop the leaderboard right now for first place. We could go into a tie if Jeremy gets this one.
And you said this final question's worth 3 points?
That's right. I did say that. All right, here we go. Number 10. How many feathers does the average turkey have?
Jesus Christ.
And Bob, you're up first. So have fun.
Oh my God. I really needed somebody else to go before me on this one.
You know what? You know what? I'll change the order. Let's have Jeremy go first because he has no shot. Let him set the baseline.
You want me to spoil the answer for those two?
Do you know the answer?
I don't even know where to begin with this.
I was asking Tina these questions last night. She was not close to this one. This is a stupid one.
I genuinely don't know where to begin. I'm just going to say 2,500.
All right, Bob, you're up then.
I'm going to say 2,400.
This is, I guess, all right, Steven.
I was thinking like in the teens or something, not even 1,000. So I'm glad I didn't go first on this one. Christ. Fuck.
It could be, if you told me it's 30, I'd believe you.
I have no idea, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do something way lower. I'll go 174.
It is 3,500, which means Jeremy takes it.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
should have just said 3,000 just to go over Jeremy, but I didn't want to seem like
All
I knew
right,
too much.
So we're tied. So I gotta go to the.
Give me a turkey and let me fucking count its feathers, because there's no way.
I was also
great,
thinking
that'd be a great podcast.
Yeah, we'll just
Jeremy, the
record
fact
me
that you
murdering
guessed-
a turkey with my bare hands.
The fact that Jeremy guessed 2,500 was pretty impressive to me.
Worth 3 points?
No, I'm sorry. It's not going to be 3 points. All right. These ones are like, I'm trying to find one where it's like guessable. We weren't supposed to end in a tie. This is not what the viewers wanted. I will do a stupid one like this. We'll give Macy's another shout out. They are sponsors. So,
All right. Yeah, they could use the advertisements anyways.
all right. So I guess you guys don't have to buzz in since it's another year one.
I'll go first then, since it was my...
Yeah, you're up. You're up first. What year did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade first have balloons? This is for all the marbles. For all the balloons.
Bob already forgot what year it started. So.
I did too. I'll say 1926.
Bob, you're up. Do you need rewind the podcast and tell Bob what year this started?
When was the balloon invented? When was the balloon invented? I'm gonna say 1935.
Steven takes the victory. It is 1928.
Yes,
Damn.
let's go.
Fuck. Jeremy, were you even going to be able to we were just going to entertain what Jeremy would have guessed?
I was just
Jeremy, did you hear that?
I was going to say 1927. It's fine.
What year did the parade start again? Was it 24?
Yeah. And you
Okay.
guessed 23, which was a little suspicious. I think Steven takes it, but with a tiny little asterisk because he was too close on a couple questions.
You were very close on a lot of these. You either just really love Thanksgiving or you had the same article that Ben had.
Well, I'm on the Big Thanksgiving Boys podcast on my spare time.
That's right.
That's
Like
true.
Bob and the Big Musical Boys.
That's true. That makes sense now.
We should have known.
Moving on. We have movie and TV show, or movie or TV show that you guys are most thankful for. Let's start with Jeremy because I know Bob is definitely not prepared for this one.
Mine is kind of a combination of two movies, one in particular, and a TV show, and it'll make sense in a second. I am thankful that coronavirus didn't happen exactly 1 year earlier, because if you dial the calendar back to 2019, you will remember that 3 massive franchises had big finales last year. Avengers Endgame, Season 8 of Game of Thrones, and Star Wars Episode 9. And both of the movies for sure would have been postponed, and Game of Thrones may still have come out sometime that year. It may have been postponed. But not only am I thankful that Endgame didn't get pushed an entire year or more, and I would have had to wait to watch that. Can you imagine how much more disappointing the final season of Game of Thrones would have been had we been anticipating it even longer, looking forward to it being the only good thing to happen in 2020, and then that season came out? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, as you can tell, and I am just incredibly thankful that all 3 of those things, even Star Wars, which I wasn't crazy about, managed to come out pre-corona.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Maybe Star Wars could have benefited from the extra year to make some changes, but yeah, the end of Game of Thrones is not the best season of television. So yeah, it would have sucked if you had to wait even longer for a shitty ending to a show you once loved.
I'm going to disagree. I think they would have had time to be like, holy shit, we really did fuck this up. And they could have gone back and be like, you know what? We're going to refilm it because or whoever the fuck the creators were, Benioff and Weiss or whatever, they were already trying to get done with that as quickly as possible. So I think if they could have
Had the year off.
That's a good point. If it got postponed, they'd have more time to like work
Think
on
about
it and
it.
then make it
Yeah.
not as shitty.
Because you can see if you watched and listen to the interviews where the cast said after that, they kind of acknowledged how bad it was and like, yeah, it wasn't really our decision for it to be this bad, but it is what it is. So I rewatched it at the beginning of quarantine and I had to stop like halfway through season 8 because it was so bad. I'm like, okay, this is just terrible. I'm going to stop here. So
See, I've never seen it. And I knew I would like it. And then like I was waiting to watch it because like it was on TV, and I was like, okay, like I'm not going to start watching it now. I'll just wait for everything to be over, and then I'll binge the whole fucking series when it's all done. And then everybody shit on the ending in the last season, and then it just made me not watch it yet. I've seen episodes and like I know what it's about, but like everybody shit so hardly on the last season that I'm just like, maybe I'll wait on this one.
And just very quickly, tangentially related, based on those 3 franchises, which I like all of them. I really like Star Wars, although I'm not like super
A big
opinionated
Star Wars
on
boy?
them. I'm not a big Star Wars boy as much as I do like the franchise. I really like Game of Thrones, but I only started watching it like months before the final season came out. And then I was there day one for the current MCU franchise. I'm thankful that I placed my eggs in the correct basket.
Yeah, yours
I would
was
say
the
you
one
did.
that actually came out all right.
It came out and people liked it, which is incredibly difficult to do. Part of the reason why I enjoy that franchise so much.
So Steven, you're up next. Let's hear yours because Bob probably needs about 10 more minutes to figure
I do.
his out.
All right, so I didn't really know what I was really thankful for movie wise, so I kind of just went with what I watched yesterday on HBO Max because it's finally on the Amazon Fire TV. So I'm like, what can I watch here? And the first movie I watched was Old School, and that movie's just hysterical.
Great movie.
And because of that old movie, Will Ferrell's career kind of like launched into a different stratosphere. After Old School, he did Elf, Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, Semi Pro, and Step Brothers, all within like a 5-year span, on top of other movies that he did during that time. But if Old School doesn't come out, if Frank the Tank isn't a thing, who knows what Will Ferrell's career is like? And he's probably. I think you guys did that. Who's your favorite comedian?
Actor,
You did that poll, or whatever I remember on Twitter, and Will Ferrell won, I think, convincingly. So I think everybody likes him a lot.
That's
I'm very thankful for Old School.
That's a good point. That was on TBS the other night, and it's like a movie you can't stop watching once it's on. And it was like the Frank the Tank part where he's like the guys are trying to tempt him to to funnel a beer, and he's like, "Nah, I can't. Going to Bed Bath and Beyond tomorrow. It's gonna be a nice little weekend. It can be a nice little Saturday." And then he's like, "I'll do one." He does the one funnel and immediately goes, "Hit me again!" And then 10 minutes later, he's streaking. That's one of the best scenes ever.
He's just going to Snoop a loop. But the guy
he's butt ass naked.
Yeah, just like get the fuck away from Snoop Dogg.
That's great.
I think that's a good pick, and we'll get into it when we talk about The Longest Yard, but that movie solidified me thinking Will Ferrell was better than Adam Sandler for sure. So
Yeah, I think it's just a little better of a comedic movie than Longest Yard.
Yeah, you're right. Did you have a TV show you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I was going to say Curb Your Enthusiasm, just because I feel like Larry David is one of the best comedic like minds of all time. The Seinfeld, Curb, and just in general, and he's not afraid to like tell people how it is, especially in that obviously just that show. But like at Thanksgiving, you really don't want to be around your family too much. It's just more like eat, drink, watch football, and get the hell out of there. And I feel like Larry would tell people like, "All right, time to go. Let's get the hell home." And I relate to that because it's like, all right, family time, a little too much here and there. So luckily this year, we don't really have to see anybody because Comrade Cuomo shut everything down. So
that's true.
In that regard, I feel like Larry David, and I like that I'm just going to be able to watch football in peace this year on Thanksgiving.
I've been trying. I want to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm so bad. That's one I've been looking at for a minute, and I know I'll like it. I just, for whatever reason, have not put it on yet.
Bob, that's a good one to have on. Like, you don't have to watch fully because you can kind of come in and each scene is like cringeworthy in and of itself, and you can just like pop in here and there. You don't need to like actually pay attention. It's a good one to like you can be on your phone and doing other stuff to watch.
Oh, that's right up my alley then.
Yeah. So playing off that one, I for TV show I picked Seinfeld, kind of like the same reason. You get like all the laughs. That show will never not be funny, and I feel like that's a show I'll watch with like my kids in the future, and if they don't like it, I'll put them up for adoption or something like that. And then movie for me has all the qualities of Thanksgiving. You guys will probably guess it right away. It brings people together. There's sport involved.
Let me guess.
And a lot of food is consumed by one of the characters.
I got it.
I'll let you guess.
It's Harry Potter.
It is not Harry Potter. Anyone else want to guess? I told Steven what it was already. So, Jeremy, you want to guess?
Sounds like Dodgeball.
That is Dodgeball. That movie just keeps on giving every year, you know? Yeah, like I said, brings people together. It's a huge sport, Dodgeball, ESPN 8 The Ocho, you know it. And a lot of food, you know? He eats more than 4,500 calories at the end of that movie. So
easy. That's
why I picked that one.
It's a great pick.
Bob, do you finally have what you are most grateful for, TV show or movie wise?
I'll start. It's a series of movies. It's actually 8 of them. It starts with a little number called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. No, but I'm going to say the Harry Potter franchise. Once it gets into your Halloween, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas season. Well, these movies are on every fucking weekend on some channel. It's always Harry Potter weekend. But like, we're in the time period now where it feels just that it's Harry Potter weekend. It's not just like, oh, it's fucking Valentine's Day this weekend. It's Harry Potter weekend. Like when it's Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, when those are on TV, I don't know. Always throw them on. Love them. Gotta watch them. So my pick of what I'm thankful for, Harry Potter weekend.
Bob, how many times do you think you've watched a Harry Potter movie? I want to hear your guess.
Oh, that's actually a hard one. I've seen probably the first like three, like probably like just having them on in the background. Each movie, the first three, I've seen each of those probably 27 times.
There's no fucking way.
but you know what's weird? I think I've seen the last one, like the actual Deathly Hallows Part 2. I think I've seen that like once because it's literally always on so late. Like you do the Harry Potter marathon, that's the one that's on at like a fucking 12 o'clock at night, and it's like, dude, I've watched 6 Harry Potters before this. I can't watch another. Like
I'm 16 beers deep.
Yeah, I'm hammered on the couch.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Thankful for Daniel Radcliffe.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good one.
You bring up a good point. I can't think of a better franchise that encapsulates like Q4 of the calendar year than Harry Potter. All those late months.
It really does. It does feel like it's getting into the start of Harry Potter season. I know, Halloween kind of starts with it, but I feel like after Thanksgiving is when I see it the most because it's always snowing in that fucking movie. I feel like I've never actually watched all of them, but okay. So moving on to The Longest Yard, the movie we decided to review. Yeah, The Longest Yard. I don't know how we came up with this. I think the idea was
pick a really good Thanksgiving movie.
There's no Thanksgiving movies out there besides like Tower Heist. Steven, I think you mentioned earlier. Like that's not even like it's just a heist movie that happens during Thanksgiving. There's no Thanksgiving movies, so we went with football. And then we decided to go with one that Bob wouldn't have to actually rewatch because God forbid he does anything for this podcast. We went with.
I didn't even watch it.
Bob was the one who mentioned that it was on TV last night. Jeremy was like, "All right, I'll check it out." I think Steven taped it and maybe watched it during the day today. But I also didn't rewatch it, maybe for the same reasons. I don't want to say, but yeah, so The Longest Yard was released May 27th, 2005. We're obviously doing the second one. The original, I think, came out in 1974. I could be wrong on that.
I'm glad we're doing the second one because I did not watch it.
Directed by
Can you
Peter...
imagine if you got here and we were talking about the first one and you watched the second one?
I would have been stunned. Bob watched the 1971 for this podcast.
Oh, man. Directed by Peter Segal, or I don't think it's Siegel. Written by Sheldon Turner. Oh, okay. Starring Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Burt Reynolds, Nelly, Michael Irvin, Terry Crews, and Buffalo native William Fichtner. So my first question for you guys is, the one Jeremy tends to do each week. Like, how many times have you guys seen this movie? Is this like your first time? I'm guessing it's not. And have you ever seen the original? I'm guessing also no. Bob, I'll pose that to you.
Yeah, so for me, like, my opinion on this movie is like, okay, so say like I didn't know all the pro football players and all the pro wrestlers and all the people that have cameos in this movie, and say I like didn't really like football, or say like I had never seen this movie before. Like say I didn't watch it when I was younger, and I watched it for the first time at like 25 with like all those factors. Like I don't know any of these cameos. I don't like any of this stuff. This movie sucks ass. Like it's it's really not good. Like it's not. I mean, it's funny. Like I laugh in it, but it's like not the greatest jokes. But like I don't know, when you talk about like watching a fucking movie, like the parts I like about it and the parts I find funny are like Michael Irving and Nelly and like Stone Cold Steve Austin and shit. And like I don't know, like some of the football scenes are completely unrealistic, but at the same time, I get a little amped. Like, I'm just like, oh shit, that was pretty cool. You know?
You don't think it's realistic that Paul Crewe would hit the ref in the nuts twice in a row and just take the turnover on downs?
But you're telling me you don't stand up and be like, fuck yeah, like during that part, that yeah. So like if you didn't like football, you didn't know who any of these people with cameos were, you hate this movie. But I'm not that person, so I like this movie a lot. You know how people say like The Shawshank Redemption is one of those movies where when it's on TV, no matter what you're doing, you got to sit down and finish watching it. That is this movie. It's The Longest Yard for me. If The Longest Yard is on TV, I have to watch it. I do really like this movie.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you that it's one of those movies that once it's on, you kind of at least watch the end of the scene until the commercial. I don't know about watching the rest of the movie, but I think you watch that scene. What about you, Steven? How many times do you think you've seen this movie?
I think I've seen it like 10 times. And what's funny is I taped this a couple months ago during quarantine to watch it just randomly. And so that's weird that 5 months later, I got to talk about it on this podcast with you guys. But yeah, I think I've seen it about 10 times. And to Bob's point about the referee getting hit in the nuts, he calls the, since you guys didn't watch it last night or today, like I did, that ref calls a taunting penalty on Michael Irvin, and he calls the penalty out himself, not the head ref who, most football games, the head ref is wearing the white hat. This ref just calls a penalty himself and announces it to the crowd. The head referee is the one who calls it, not just a random line judge. So
I can imagine
penalties.
There's a lot
else.
of like inconsistencies in this movie that like just make no fucking sense. Like,
yeah, the fact that ESPN2's calling the game. I mean, Paul Crew being a former NFL MVP. So if he's an MVP
in jail, and
yeah,
for
throwing a football game, like I looked it up because I was curious. Around 2000, I thought the movie was 2004. So like 2002, the highest paid quarterback was like Jeff Garcia and Peyton Manning, and they're making about $10 million a year. So if Paul Crew was making $10 million a year, how much money was he making or in trouble with people to have to throw a football game? And he's a terrible job at throwing a football game because you can tell he's throwing the game.
Yeah, he doesn't hide it very well.
Stephen doing the research, figuring out the salaries of quarterbacks that around the time. Yeah, because he's like an MVP caliber quarterback. Yeah, he's a pro. That's a good point. Like he shouldn't be throwing football games then to. Yeah, because then that's why he stops being a quarterback. But
if he's the MVP, you'd think be like, hey, bet on my team today, and I'll fucking go nuts, and you can win a lot of money that way. Like, why would you have to throw the game?
The better movie would be the behind the scenes of how he got into the point where he had to start throwing games. I need like a mafia thriller about like him in debt to like fucking a big mobster and has to. Yeah, that's what I need.
I agree.
That'd be much better.
Could you mention Patrick Mahomes throwing games and then just all of a sudden he's out of the NFL, almost get murdered by the guy in the cell?
Patrick really sailed that one right into the arms of the defender. That's his 5th interception today.
Josh Allen could definitely be able to throw games because he'd be like, oh, just one of Josh's bad games where he can't hit anybody. But
that's a good point. That's more like, yeah, Josh Allen could actually get away with it. Jeremy, what about you?
The Mafia.
Jeremy, have you actually seen this movie before?
I have never seen this movie before last
night.
What?
Wow. That's incredible.
Apparently, I didn't know I was being punished by having to watch this movie last night.
You're the person I'm talking about.
Well, Bob is the one.
Bob is the one to say Thanksgiving challenge.
Yeah. Bob is the one who says he rewatches it every time, like it's Shawshank Redemption, and Jeremy's like, I did not fucking like this movie.
So, Bob made a joke yesterday when we were texting each other. He's like, I bet it's on Spike tonight. Comes back 2 minutes later. He's like, oh my God, it is. Which was hilarious.
I was completely joking when I said that.
But also super convenient because I recorded it. And this is how stupid TV is these days. It's scheduled from 9 to midnight. I started watching it at 10:15, and I finished watching it, skipping through commercials, at 12:02. So there was an hour and 15 minutes of commercials in there. And to that point, I was already checked out of this movie before the first commercial break. When it went to that first commercial break, I was like, oh my God, there is 2 hours and 45 minutes left in this recording, and I'm already sick of this movie. And I don't think it got better in the end. It was genuinely pretty bad the entire time.
You didn't like that Courtney Cox scene with her getting shoved in the closet and then him getting hammered and just driving away?
No, that was really bad. She was really bad in that, actually. And so
she was really.
I also like.
I didn't realize this movie was an hour and 53 minutes.
It's way too long. And apparently the original is good. I've never seen the original either, and supposedly that one's good. And this movie is so bad that I find that hard to believe.
What do you not like about it?
I mean, Bob started off his review by saying this movie fucking sucks.
Bob, you described all of my issues with it beforehand. You said if you had watched it for the first time, you would agree that it sucks. So, I don't want to hear it from you. But yeah,
that's
I mean,
fair.
I might have cracked a smile 2 or 3 times. Nothing about this is believable.
Was that when Caretaker was killed? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it wasn't that one.
Did you cry there?
I didn't cry either.
a little man tear. You tear up a little bit when Chris Rock dies.
No, honestly, every 20 minutes or so, I'd be like, "How did we even end up here?" And I don't know if it was because I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like, do the guards have a football team in the first place? Why are they allowing maximum security prisoners out of maximum security to play on a football team against the guards? Nothing about it. Who's the...
Why is that on ESPN 2?
Why is it on ESPN 2? Who's the
Chris Berman
Colonel
announcing?
Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken looking guy who's in half the movie? I don't even know what his role is in the movie.
Oh, yeah. That dumbass dude.
Like,
Chris
Yeah.
Berman gets kidnapped by Tracy Morgan at the end of the movie. That might be the best part.
Presumably raped by Tracy
Yeah.
Morgan, I think.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's one of the. You have to get over the fact that the warden just has his guards play football. It's a weird thing for sure. Like, I don't know if it's part of the job description. Like, do you think you sign up to become one of the just security guards or whatever they're called? And what are they
It's just
actually
like
called?
accidental
Correctional officer.
Cowboys.
Correctional officer. And
He
it's like-
said in the movie, he goes to Adam Sandler. He says, "Yeah, guys that can't make it to the league, I offer them jobs and the chance to keep playing football." Like, how many guys just be like, "Yeah, I want to be a correctional officer just to play football"?
Do you think
So I
that
get-
actually exists? Like that can't be made up. There has to be some truth. At some point, there must have been some sort of correctional officer football teams in Texas.
In Texas, I definitely believe it.
Yeah. But they're like in the movie, they're like the 5-time state champion or some shit, or defending champ.
yeah,
or
who
some
are
bullshit.
they playing? Like, who are their
Other
weekly
prisons.
opponents? Like,
They're playing
it's
Attica,
so weird.
Danny Mora.
And then they
That's
just
so
lost
weird.
to a bunch of convicts. Like I get they have the NFL MVP as their quarterback from a couple years ago, but like Jesus Christ, who the fuck are these? And Michael Irving, like
Well,
I
if
think
this was a real game, there's 100% chance that Paul Crew is back in the NFL on the Cowboys. Nelly is getting a tryout with the team, and Deacon Moss is getting a tryout too.
yeah.
And
I
the
think they
fullback
all
was
end
like
up on the
6'8".
Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
What's the name of Nelly's character?
Megget.
Yeah, Megget, dude. Megget's fucking juking people out in his bare feet. That guy's a fucking maniac.
That shit's wild. And who's the backup quarterback? I don't think Brucey. I don't think he gets a
Brucey.
tryout though. He's
I like
pretty
the-
rough at this.
Jeremy, I'm telling you, you didn't laugh when they snapped the ball to Brucey when he's in the game and he drops it. He's just like, oh man, I shouldn't eat that popcorn.
That's a great line, Jared.
hysterical.
You had to laugh at that, Jared.
the popcorn didn't get me. There was a little bit of physical humor that made me chuckle every now and then, and it was when I don't even know which player it was, but there's a couple times where the one player just jumps up and drop kicks other players in the face.
Yeah, the first kickoff.
Jared,
that
you're
made me
telling me
chuckle.
when the guy puts his cigarette out on another player's arm to get the loose ball, that doesn't make you chuckle?
No, that one
He
didn't
plays
so
with the
much.
cig in his mouth the entire time. Like he never takes it out.
That is
Oh,
super difficult. I feel like just to run around with a lit cig in your mouth, to one breathe and one to like run at full speed, and then that's pretty impressive by that guy. He might get a tryout with. I feel like the Dolphins would sign a guy like
Yeah,
that.
that's what
Yeah,
you need.
Bob, that sounds like your brother playing out there.
He was he had 2 cigs in his mouth.
All right,
I think before we move on, I think my favorite line in the whole movie was they're entering the stadium. Jim Rome was there for some reason doing the pregame
Oh,
show.
yeah, that's
And
right.
He goes, "This could shape up as an epic day. Hot dog vendors, high-powered rifles. I love the combination." What does that line mean? Hot dog vendors and high-powered rifles. It sounds like an alt-right convention. Like,
That really does. Oh shit. Man, put that in the headline, Jared. We'll get some views for sure. Yeah, playing off Steven's like one line. I was gonna ask you guys what was your favorite scene. Like, I'll go for just personally. I think the best scene is when Adam Sandler plays Michael Irvin in basketball, and like
Yeah.
Terry Crews is just throwing like McDonald's sandwiches everywhere.
Cheeseburger Eddie, man.
He's pulling him out of his nutsack and just throwing him out. And Adam Sandler gets obliterated just playing one-on-one. And I think Adam Sandler has a contract that he has to play basketball at least once in every movie. I don't know if he does it in Hubie Halloween, but that scene like got me amped. I thought like it was a pretty cool scene actually. Jeremy, what about you? Or
yeah.
Bob, yeah, we could go with you if
Yeah,
you want to
like-
reiterate.
No, Jeremy, you go actually because I got to think.
The one scene, very quick scene that I thought was kind of funny was when they go to the play-by-play call booth and they got the announcer talking. I think he's another ESPN guy, isn't he?
Besides Chris Berman or just Chris Berman?
the convict.
No, Chris Berman. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Come on, Jer.
sorry, I don't know. They got his voice, and then they cut to the booth, and he's inside, and then Babyface, whatever the convict's name is, just standing next to him. Just
I
that
think it's
image,
Bob.
Babyface Bob.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That image when they cut to him, I thought was funny. And then the most unintentionally funny scene is the ending, where Buffalo's very own, what's his name?
Bill Fickner.
Bill Fickner. He is instructed to shoot Adam Sandler with a high-powered rifle into a crowd. And
In front of God and everybody.
the music
execute a
is
man.
getting so dramatic, and they try to make this tense scene, and I'm laughing hysterically. What am I watching right now?
They could have just go run after him. Just have to shoot him in the back.
There's no guards at the entrance. Like, yeah,
Well, there was a
very-
guard, and then the warden pulls the rifle out of the guard's hand, hands it to his, co-warden, whatever his captain, I think is his
His
title.
quarterback.
Captain Knauer.
Captain Knauer. And he's just
Fucking
like,
watches and remembers everything.
shoot him! Shoot him! This is an order! Shoot him!
Crew!
And then it ends. It ends with this big
I feel like I'm at the table. Right?
this big climactic moment of he's getting the game ball. It's like, yeah, that's funny.
But then Adam Sandler walking up and being like, "Put that in your trophy case, bitch," and just smacks it into his chest. That's awesome.
Burt Reynolds is looking on like, you have no idea how close you were to taking a bullet through your spine that would have then hit an innocent bystander.
Yeah, because he's shooting in shoulder pads. He's probably not even used to shooting a gun like that.
The game was just on ESPN2 also. Could you imagine if he was shot? Like,
He was probably
oh my
still
God,
alive.
Paul Crewe was just shot. We go back to Chris Berman. Paul Crewe is dead now after the crazy 2-point conversion to win the game.
Oh man. All right, yeah, Steven, you go with your favorite scene.
Well, I was going to say the basketball too, but to kind of copy off that, there's a lot of throwing of games in this. Like Michael Irvin clearly cheated in that basketball game. The warden clearly wanted to cheat in the football game. Does anybody just not want to not cheat? Like, how do you get satisfaction from beating somebody when you can clearly see you were cheating? It
They're
just
all in
seems weird.
prison.
Well, when Michael Irvin was so excited, it's like, dude, if anybody was watching the game, you lost that game, and you just called a bullshit foul on Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And then you do an alley-oop dunk off the rim or off the backboard when he's not even paying attention. And that's how you win. So it's
I
a
know,
little weird how
all
everybody's
his
so
boys are
excited
going
that.
crazy. Yeah,
It's like you just got schooled by a white boy.
Yeah, Adam Sandler actually beats him in that. I get the point of it. They're just trying to make it seem like he's tough and earn their respect. But I agree that all those people would be like, dude, you fucking lost to Paul Crewe, Adam Sandler. and the same thing with your other point. Why does the warden want to cheat so bad? Just to prove that his men are capable of beating them in football and guarding them. I don't get the point why he wants him to throw the game.
Especially because they blew a 14-point lead in the first half, and then they blew a 35-14 lead in the fourth quarter with a Burt Reynolds. I don't know why he even what a balls he called having the
That's my
game-winning
second
game-time
favorite
touchdown.
scene.
He came off the bench, hasn't played in 30 years. They have Paul Crewe, a former NFL MVP, and Deacon Moss or Jones, whoever the hell his name was, Michael Irvin, and they do the fumble rooski for Burt Reynolds, and somehow he gets drilled, and he lands in the end zone. It's wild how he can
Did
do
you
that.
know he plays Paul Crewe in the original movie?
Yeah,
Or Reynolds
yeah.
does. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, but I still agree with Steven. Just throw the ball up to Deacon Moss in the corner. He's going to come down with it. You got Calvin Johnson in the corner.
Wasn't there some weak thread in the story where the warden was trying to run for governor or something, and somehow
Yes.
his football team winning meant he was qualified to be the governor?
Well, in Texas, anything's possible. So
That's a good point.
That
I
makes
forgot.
sense.
That is a good point. Also, he's willing to threaten him with 20 more years of prison or the rest of his life just to win a football game. That's pretty.
Which you
that's,
definitely can't do.
no,
Yeah, he was gonna charge caretaker's murder on Adam Sandler when he was murdered in Adam Sandler's room. That makes no sense why Paul
Yeah.
Crewe would kill a caretaker in his own room. He was.
yeah, it makes no sense.
So the guards were gonna try to kill Paul Crewe before the football game. That'd be pretty big news too. Oh, we're playing the team now. Then we got to face Brucey at quarterback. I guess that's gonna be an easy game now.
You think ESPN2 might have covered the fact? Yeah, they're playing. These are all prisoners and guards from the prison where an inmate died via explosion. Like 24
A handful of hours ago.
Mean Machine. Bob, did you have a favorite scene that wasn't one we already talked about?
Yeah, it's actually like a little bit. It's kind of off the basketball scene. I just like when they were practicing and Paul Cruz like nobody can get open, and then Chris Rock comes up. He's like, "Yeah, man, everybody on the team's fucking white. We need some brothers out here." And then like they take him to like the basketball court, and that's where the basketball scene ensues. But then like he gets their respect. But my favorite part in the movie, which I wish I was like a young boy in 2005 sitting in the movie theater watching this, when like Nelly and Deacon Moss and all the people they went to recruit because they needed some speed roll up, and Nelly's fucking that one fucking is that called Here Comes the Boom? What's the name of that one? Nelly
Yes,
song?
Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah, when that hits and you see them like walk up and it's like a panning shot, I'm just like, oh, let's fucking go. I was like, they're gonna beat the Guards.
Bob's watching. He had money on the game.
Yeah, I like that scene though, just because I think if we're talking movie sound or an individual songs made for a movie, how do you not put this in the top 10?
Every single football team from 2005 until 2012 had "Here Comes the Boom" on their warm-up track, especially in high school football.
It's fucking awesome.
That is a great song.
Steven, as the one person who played high school football out of the three of us, can attest to. I'm pretty sure you probably had "Here Comes the Boom" on every soundtrack through your 4 years of high school.
That and "Crazy Train" by Ozzy Osbourne or whoever sang that song.
Yeah, those are classics.
Yeah, "Here Comes the Boom" and "Crazy Train." Hand in hand, those two songs.
And that's why you guys won every game.
Yes. We all have the same amount of high school varsity football wins. All of us combined.
That's true. That's a good point. My only last note for you guys was I was thinking, I know this movie was only 15 years ago, but if it was remade again today, who do you think would be on the con team? You can also put do the guard team as well if you want. I know, Bob, you know wrestlers more than the rest of us. I picked, this is my lineup. So I have Michael B. Jordan at wide receiver. Wanted to get one actual good actor there. I picked Randy Moss to be like the Deacon Moss guy at wide receiver. Travis Scott is my running back to get the rapper in there. And then no one really talks about the offensive line, defensive line. I have Rick Ross starting as left tackle.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
And then, you know what? I couldn't think of another quarterback. I recalled Adam Sandler. He's gonna do it again. He's still young enough. He can play it.
No, he's still in jail because
he's still in prison.
Warden gave him 20 years.
Exactly.
Well, Adam Sandler has to come back in the Burt Reynolds role. He has to coach the next team.
That's a good point. I don't know. It was just too early. I feel like he could still actually ball out there.
I'd like to see Lil Wayne at running back. Can you imagine how fucking elusive he would be? He'd be so goddamn shaky and jittery back there.
Yeah, because he's high off codeine the whole time. He's just shaking.
I think he'd get a false start penalty every drive, every single play.
But his football pants would need to be very loose. They need to be falling. He'd have to have one hand on the ball, the other hand pulled on his pants.
He plays in a white t-shirt.
Yeah, no pants.
You guys have any other wide receiver, any quarterback options? I like my Rick Ross left tackle pick.
Randy Moss is a really good pick for that was good.
Is Rick Ross gonna take the place of Joey Diaz or something? Who's the comically fat guy in this remake?
Yeah, I guess Rick Ross can do that. He won't like being the scapegoat for shitty jokes, but we'll get him past it.
Well, Kevin James would be in the next one too because he was
Kevin James. I'm saying, yeah,
Kevin James would fit well.
Chad Ochocinco or T.O. maybe at wide receiver.
They might actually agree to it. That's a good point.
Yeah, that'd be.
Guys, you know who is available for this remake who wasn't available in 2005?
O.J.
Simpson.
Wow. Could you imagine?
What is he playing?
He's the Burt Reynolds role.
Yeah, he's the coach.
Yeah.
He'd be
like, hey
in
guys,
the movie.
I know a little bit about football and I know a little bit about killing. So he's perfect for this role.
It's an alternate universe where he did get convicted of the murder, and that's why he's in jail again now.
But think about it. How could you?
That's an interesting take.
Who could you cast better for the longest yard? Somebody that's been in jail and played professional football. He's got both sides of the coin, and he.
Well, could we have Michael Vick play quarterback then?
Can we bring Aaron Hernandez from the grave?
Yeah. Wait, I think O.J. Simpson actually acted too, wasn't he? In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Or
Yeah,
something?
he was an actor, dude. He was in
Naked Gun movies.
Not that movie. Naked Gun, yeah.
Oh, he's a triple threat, dude. O.J. Simpson, actor, football
Athlete,
player,
Murderer.
Killer.
and murderer.
The big three.
Bob, you could probably tell better than me. I didn't recognize any wrestlers other than Stone Cold, but I imagine if you're doing a remake in this era, John Cena's got to be in it.
John Cena would have to be like the lead guard, but there was Bill Goldberg. He was a guy that had an X for a number, and he had the guy with the huge dick. Remember that character?
Yes, who could forget?
So he actually. Did you know that he actually played for the Atlanta Falcons for like 3 years? He was in the NFL before he was a pro wrestler. Stone Cold, as you mentioned.
Do we put The Rock on the guard team or the convict team?
I'm surprised The Rock wasn't in this movie. You had Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash was the character that took instead of taking steroids, they switched it with like estrogen.
Yeah.
And then the great Khali was the guy that headbutted the wall that is like 7'10". That Indian guy.
Is he still alive?
He's alive and kicking. He's
The
like
dude
still
is
like
gigantism, right? He's
yeah,
huge.
he does. He's literally like 7'10". But yeah, John Cena would have to be in the remake. The Rock, I'm truly shocked The Rock wasn't in this movie to begin with, because I think 2005 was like right before he became like a megastar. But oh yeah, John Cena might have to be Captain Knauer. That's who I'd cast John Cena as, Captain Knauer for sure. I fucking love this movie.
I think, yeah, you love this movie. I think Jeremy hates this movie, and me and Steven probably fall somewhere in between because we actually watched it as younger people. So we at least acknowledge the fact. I wasn't a huge Nelly fan or anything, but you can at least acknowledge that he was super famous, and they got some big names for
An
these
incredible
roles.
running back.
A great running back, yeah. This was right after Take Off All Your Clothes. That's why he took off the cleats. He wanted to make it some a transition to that. Now, did you guys have any other points to make about this movie? I know, Jeremy, you loved it, so you probably wouldn't stop talking about it if we could stop you.
No, I was like, wow, this is really the movie you guys picked this week. Interesting. And I wasn't even 10 minutes into the movie when I started thinking that, and I still had 2 hours left. But no, I mean, it sucked. Shout out to Caretaker for outfitting an entire football team from beyond the grave. That was pretty impressive.
It was his one final gift, Jeremy.
Sure, whatever that means.
Steven, Bob, you guys got any final thoughts?
I thought for sure when you told me that we were watching a football movie, I'm like, okay, they're gonna pick Remember the Titans. I was getting ready to watch it on Disney Plus, and then you came back with The Longest Yard. I'm like, oh, that definitely seemed like something Bob would pick, and not Jeremy. So I'm glad I got to rewatch it today. I kind of dozed off a little bit during it, but
I'm jealous.
definitely a ridiculous movie. And you guys probably don't remember him, but Bill Romanowski, he was like a steroid freak for the Raiders and Broncos, I believe. He was the middle linebacker who was a dick.
Yeah.
That guy, I don't think he did any acting. I think that's how he actually would be towards guards, the convicts. So that was a perfect casting for that guy. So if, in our remake, we're going to keep Bill Romanowski in the second one too. But those are my final thoughts.
For me, I like I said, I didn't watch this movie this week because I've seen it so many times I didn't have to. I just want to go fucking watch it right now. And you know what? I actually looked it up. It's on TV tonight. Guess what channel?
Paramount.
CMT.
Oh.
And then it's later in the week. It's on MTV. It rotates between Paramount, CMT, and MTV, but it's literally on. There's not 2 calendar days in a row where this movie isn't on TV.
That's wild. Yeah, I guess my final thoughts would be, I wouldn't recommend it if you haven't already watched it, but it's a movie to go back and watch if you haven't seen it in a while. Because I think there's some stupid lines that you can get behind, like Brucey coming in and like the cigarette being put out on the guy. There's like so many lines that you can just. There's just so many stupid lines that if you watch this as a younger person, yeah, Jared, I get why you don't like it. But yeah, it's a good movie to rewatch. I think if you liked it when you were younger, but. All right, I think that wraps it up. Thank you for listening. What episode was this, Jer?
27?
Holy
wow.
fuck.
Thank you for listening to the 27th episode of the Big Movie Boys podcast. And remember, be thankful.